Hello, beautiful sisters. This is Suzette Winona Summers, your empowerment coach. I'm glad to be with you tonight. I wanted to, it's a little later than I normally come on, but I really wanted to come on and talk with you this evening. Um, you know, um, I wanted to talk to you about, getting on the road to your empowerment. I know a lot of times people can feel like they're not far enough along, like they should be further along, or there's shame because of the place where you find yourself. Maybe you're just so full of guilt or self-loathing because of some of the decisions you've made that you don't even want to let anybody know your story. And you feel like nobody will understand, or or there's just guilt for putting up with things that you shouldn't have. I know when, I talk about my relationship with my ex-husband, and I see that time in my life as sort of like being my bottom. It was the place where I hid so much stuff from everybody. I started to isolate. I started to, I didn't want anybody to know anything. I kept secrets about what was going on. There was abuse, there was violence, there was cheating, there was financial insecurity, and there was so much shame that I was carrying around because I felt like I didn't want anybody to be mad at him. I didn't want anybody to know how messed up I was, because I felt so messed up because I was in this position, and like, why would I be in this position? I didn't want people to know how sick I was, really. That's what it was. And I didn't want to reach out for help because I was living in so much shame. And I kept thinking I could do it myself and I could get it all back together. And that just wasn't the case. And when I took that step and I reached out for help and I started to talk to some people, it was amazing because I realized I wasn't alone anymore. And the feelings that I was feeling, the shame and the guilt and the anxiety and the fear, they were actually pretty normal for the position I was in. And I found support from people who've been there and done that and got to the other side of it, and they were so encouraging. And I did the work. I continued to open up and be real and honest about myself, which was super empowering and amazing. It was almost magical because it was like I was living in this world that was so dark and so lonely and so fearful and had so much fear. And I remember at one point getting down on the bathroom floor and crying and praying, help me, because I was at my bottom. I was like, I don't know what to do anymore. And like I've talked with before, it wasn't that I had never had unhealthy relationships in the past. I think this was definitely something that I was used to, but the level of it I was not used to. I hadn't, like I said, hit bottom, and it had gotten bad enough. And I was ready to do something different, and I did. I started to really devote my time and my energy to myself and love myself, and talk about what I was going through and what my fears were, and praying and meditating and taking steps to do things differently. I ended up going back to school. I got my bachelor's, I got my master's. I was eventually, I got out of that relationship, And I moved through to transform my life, but I didn't get where I am now, like from where I am. I had to be on my knees, and when I was on my knees, all I could do was crawl. And I was able to crawl to somebody else that I could talk to and say, I guess I got on my knees and I surrendered to God. I was like, God, I can't do this. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how to do this differently. And then I reached out to other people and I started to share what my experience was. And it was healing and it was good. And I started to grow from that. But I just want to encourage you, if you're feeling shame, if you're afraid, if you feel like you'll never, ever be able to feel empowered again, or you don't know the path back, it's okay. It's really okay. It's perfectly normal. And all you have to do is start crawling. Start taking little baby steps. Do the best you can and reach out for help. And if there's any way I can support you, if you would like to get some more information about the way that I can serve you best, private message me. We'll get you started on that path back to feeling better, to feeling empowered. Little baby steps, little crawls. You can do it. You deserve it. You are worthy. And I want to see us all rise and become empowered. I don't care how low you feel you are. I don't care how broken you feel you are. I don't care if you feel like you'll never walk. You will walk. You will run. You will rise. You will fly. I know you will. And I know how to get you there. So if you want that support, private message me and we'll talk real soon. I look forward to sharing with all of you tomorrow. Have a blessed evening. Sleep well. Oh, my daughter's here. You want to say hi?
No.
But she brought me this really cool toy. Look. Look at that. We like to play, don't we, Aria? Yeah. Okay. Now I'm really going. Blessed evening. I love you, sisters. Talk soon. Bye. That's my